Well, good morning. Thanks for checking out What's Up at Fun Factory Hobbies for the week ending Saturday, September 23rd, 2023. Got new stuff because, we do that. So we were at a trade show recently and saw these. Now, these aren't games per se, but they're a way to carry around your games. And Tammy thought they were pretty cool, so she snagged one. I mean, not stealing, but got one handed to her. And we brought a whole bunch of them in. So these are shoulder bags, but they have these little plush, and the material's soft like squishables, and they're squishy. But then it opens up and becomes stuffed inside of that is a nifty little tote, and then the squishable. Well, I don't know if I can call it a squishable, but whatever. The little plush hoochie whatnot. In this case, it's a strawberry kitty. Sits on the shoulder, and then there's a nice bag. Several people have already been in this week after we got them, but before I recorded this video and glanced them over and like, ooh, those are really cute. So here we have a angel kitty, squishy, and then what's on the card is the pattern that's going to be on the tote bag. Yeah, it's a plushy tote bag from Tea Turtle. We have a little Cthulhu, and they look a little cuter outside of the bag, obviously, than they do in the bag. Devil Kitty, as opposed to the Angel Kitty that I showed you a minute ago. A dragon, red dragon. Maybe that's the devil, and that one's the dragon. That one's probably the dragon with the sword. And a fox. So, again, not game stuff, but you can carry your games in it, so close enough. So yeah, lots of other stuff this week too. One of our regulars asked that we get in the latest edition of the Traveler core rulebook. So it's a science fiction role-playing game. Science fiction adventure in the far future, right there on the bottom. There's the tagline. I know I created a character for the original Traveler, 40 years ago. This is Free Trader Beowulf calling anyone. Mayday, Mayday, we are under attack. Main drive is gone. Turret number 1 not responding. Mayday, losing cabin pressure fast. Calling anyone. Please help. This is Free Trader Beowulf. Mayday. Traveler is a science fiction role-playing game of bold explorers and brave adventures. This Traveler core rulebook contains everything you need to create one of these adventures and begin exploring the galaxy. Spaceports, ancient civilizations, air rafts, cold steel blades, laser carbines, or carbines, depending on where you're from, far distant worlds, and exotic alien beasts. This is the futuristic universe of Traveler, the original and classic science fiction role-playing game. Come visit the future. It is a fully updated and revised as of 2022 book. So the characters are not actually going to die during character creation. Bonus. Other cool stuff. I know we have some fans of coloring. So here we have the Dungeons and Dragons coloring book. From the Forgotten Realms to the Feywild, explore iconic scenes, characters, and creatures from the enchanting, adventure-filled worlds of Dungeons & Dragons in this official coloring book, featuring 80 unique line drawings of classic, well-known, and never-before-seen official Dungeons & Dragons illustrations. This coloring book is the perfect way to relax and put your own spin on your favorite D&D artwork. I know, like I said, we've got several friends and fans that are into coloring as adults. Cool stuff. Rebel Scum, the role-playing game, a polymorph system game from 9th Level Games. An anti-fascist space opera. Do you remember when life was simple and all the universe's problems could be solved by little plastic heroes? Rebel Scum is a cinematic role-playing game that tries to tackle the problems of today by pretending to punch space Nazis right in the face. an explicitly anti-fascist space opera RPG, a war in the stars between the forces of good and evil, a political allegory about right now told in the style of the classic action figures. Powered by Polymorph, Rebel Scum is as fast and easy to play as picking up some dudes and smashing them together, making pew 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 noises, except now you know what the fight is about. Polymorph is the award-winning single-die, fast-action role-playing system from 9th level game, the rule that power mazes fantasy role-playing, the excellence princess role-playing, and more. Tammy and I have sampled the Polymorph system. Pretty quick, pretty slick, kind of elegant. Definitely not as crunchy as D&D or Pathfinder, but that's okay. Okay, one of the other games that we saw at the trade show that we went to recently is Everyday Heroes. So for those of you who've been into role-playing games for, 20 years or so, you'll probably remember D20 Modern, which is to say the present-day role-playing game, as in set in, late 20th, early 21st century time period, based on the then 3rd edition D&D rules and mechanics. So Everyday Heroes is that, but for the 5th edition rules. So it's based on 5e. See, 5e compatible. And in fact, you can take stuff from these books and put it in your D&D campaign. I mean, if you really want to. But it's really designed to be its own standalone thing. So, modern setting, late 20th, early 21st century, role-playing game using the mechanics that you are already familiar with from 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. All right? But that's not all. Of course, we got a Game Master screen. Look at that cool car jump scene on the back. All kinds of action and excitement. Tammy and I did play a quick scene of that at the thing we were at and enjoyed it. But again, 5th edition, so it's pretty easy to pick up. But then they also have these cinematic adventure packs, which add a few rules and setting information from specific movies. So, for example, here we have Total Recall, compatible with the Everyday Hero system. You would need the core rulebook to play any of these, by the way, the cinematic adventures. But every cinematic adventure contains a wealth of lore about the world of the film, new hero building options, tools, and guidance for game masters, and an incredible adventure. So, at Blue Sky on Mars, it's been less than 24 hours since the eruption of the Pyramid Mines. Coagan is dead, Coado is dead, Douglas Quaid and Melina are missing. With the federal colony racked by violence, only a few surviving leaders of the Mars resistance remain to fight against, being crushed beneath the governance of oppressors and mutant-hating boots once more. As the most experienced mercenaries on the planet, you and your comrades have made good money, taking jobs from the resistance in the past. Now they come calling again, this time with planetary consequences, as even more alien tech starts to come online, triggered by hidden psychic operatives. Or will you consider a government payday instead and maintain the status quo? All right, so again, that one was Total Recall. Here we have Highlander. Pacific Rim, yes, Mecha and Kaiju. Escape from New York. Kong Skull Island. And The Crow. So if you're fans of any of those movies, now you can roleplay in those universes. How cool is that? All right, that's enough roleplaying for now. I think there's a little bit more to come yet, but that's okay. Here we have from Osprey Games, Undaunted, the latest Undaunted, Battle of Britain. Adds air. Summer 1940, the German war machine has rolled through the continent in less than a year, crushing all before it. Britain is all that stands in the way of German victory in Europe. Command the pilots of the battle-tested Luftwaffe, looking to extinguish all resistance and pave the way to invasion, or the resourceful and determined RAF, opposing them at every turn. It is a standalone game in the Undaunted series, adapting the core gameplay of the previous games to recreate dynamic dogfighting of aerial combat. There you go. Here we have an expansion for Starfarers of Catan, which we have up there. You can see it right below the security camera. Scenarios for Starfarers, new encounters. This expansion is not a standalone. It also requires Starfarers of Catan. The Galactic Council is impressed by your progress and are prepared to offer you a seat on the council if you can complete these 3 urgent missions. Stop a notorious pirate leader from raiding planets in your sector. Save your sector from giant ship-eating space amoebas. Find a lost group of ancient people and study their technology. Accept the missions. Build your legacy. New from GameRight, one of our favorite companies, Forbidden Jungle, the 4th Forbidden game. Forbidden Jungle, Survive the Wild. I know Forbidden Island was received super well. Forbidden Sky was one of the games that was on tabletop with Will Wheaton and Alan Tudyk. Here's the most recent game in the series. Low on fuel, your rocket's guidance system leads you to a mysterious abandoned spaceport on a remote moon. The spaceport is completely overgrown with jungle and is infested with a colony of spider-like aliens who don't take kindly to their nest being invaded. So Tammy's right out. It soon becomes clear why the port was abandoned, as whole sections of the station begin dropping into sinkholes. Your only hope of escape is to put a transportation portal back in service. Perhaps it will take you to the planet below. Unfortunately, all the portals are overgrown and without power. Exciting intrigue. Get some pretty good reviews online. From, who is this from? Unstable Games. People who make unstable unicorns. Wrong party. You see the barbarian showing up to the birthday party and the cute clown unicorn showing up to the fight. Yeah. Wrong Party is a card drafting game where you'll try to host the perfect party with the weirdest guest list. This 2 to 5 player game combines the fun of costume party, the scheming of political scandal, and the savagery of a raid, and the awkwardness of a family reunion. Oh boy. Will you be the life of the party or the death of it? From Yu-Gi-Oh! The latest structure deck, the Crimson King. Come buy this stuff or we're going to stop ordering Yu-Gi-Oh! I swear. Fire up your Red Dragon Arcfiend deck. Jack Atlas, the master of Faster, is back to help you fire up your Red Dragon Arcfiend deck. This ready-to-play structure deck includes Jack's strongest monsters, including 9 powerful synchro monsters for your extra deck. There's a deck list. From Pokemon, the Fall Special Set. Scarlet and Violet, 151. We have Elite Trainer boxes. We have booster bundles, which I did not set over here, but I mean, it's just 6 booster packs in a box, something like a Build and Battle box. And the binder collection, which includes a binder and 4 Pokemon trading card packs. It's a 360 card 9 pocket binder, 29 pocket pages. And you can see it has the elastic band around it, so it's like a Pro binder. I don't think it's quite as fancy as the Pro binders, but in the same nail. Here we have Perfect Match by Twain. Yeah, I can't pronounce those names. From Greater Than Games. Are you ready to make your perfect match? I'm not going to read it. You can read it if you want to. But it's another cat game, and Tammy and I both played it and enjoyed it thoroughly a couple weeks ago. And last but not least, Phandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk, the new expanded campaign based on the original 5th edition starter box, but way expanded, and the fancy alternate art cover, only available at favorite local game stores like Fun Factory Hobbies. Oh boy, old bones, get back up. I showed Boop last week, but we did restock original Boop in case you're shopping for that. Organized Play Today, Saturday the 23rd at 11 a.m., we have our monthly Pokemon League Challenge Tournament. At 2 p.m., our Pokemon League. At 6 p.m., our Warhammer 40k. For details on any of this stuff, you can always check our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/funfactoryhobbies/events. Next Friday, Commander. Casual Commander, that is. Next Saturday, 2 p.m., Pokemon League. 6 p.m., Magic the Gathering Wilds of Eldraine Store Championship, a draft event. October 6th, Casual Commander. October 7th, Pokemon League. Doctor Who launch event on Friday the 13th of October at 6 p.m., Pokemon League. There you have it. Thanks for checking out what's up. If you found the content useful, like it. If you haven't already, subscribe. See you next time.